fully. And this is brought to you by Tut Street Family Chiropractic, which is my clinic, and I'm Dr. Cary Yurkiw. And we're going to talk about what you can do today to move freely and live more fully, have more of an active lifestyle. So what we're going to cover tonight is how you can improve your joint health. And I've been practicing now for 31 years, and I've been working with thousands of patients over my career on improving their health. First, reducing their pain. Secondly, improving their function. And third, increasing their quality of life. So I'm going to talk about a roadmap today on how you can be more pain-free, live more fully, and do some things that can help yourself. So why do active people often hit pain roadblocks? Well, over time, they can develop complaints like joint stiffness, lingering aches, or have nagging injuries. Often it's maybe something small, like a fall or an injury in sports, let's say, that starts to change their pattern. It changes the way they function, and they learn how to adapt to that. But over time, with that compensation, it leads to more stiffness, more pain and discomfort, and less activity. So often it's just like little things that happen over a long period of time that can contribute to the condition they're in today, So we want to talk about that, because what we want to do is get you to a point where there's less pain, there's more activity, and there's more optimism, and not being frustrated with your current health status. Now, you're not alone. Many people face these challenges, and I see them on a daily basis. New patients coming in every week saying, I've been suffering for a long time. I'm looking for solutions. I need some help. Now, how does chiropractic work to prevent injuries? Well, proper alignment protects joints and supports optimal movement. Of course it does, because when you have the right alignment, you're going to have equal amount of weight on each side of the joint, on each side of the body. You're going to function better. You're going to have better flexibility. There'll be better muscle balance on the front and back side of the joint. So you're just going to have the body working the way it should. When you have poor alignment, then you get compensation. Some muscles are shortening, others are lengthening, some are getting tired faster than others, and this leads to wear and tear in certain areas faster than others. So we want to prevent overuse, strain, and poor mechanics. And think of it like your car. When your car is misaligned, the car can wear unevenly, and the body can be like that. I remember going in for an oil change years ago, and they did the routine oil change, but the mechanic brought me over and said, take a look at this. He still had the car up on the hoist, and he said, your tires on one side are wearing out faster than the other. It's because you have bad alignment, and I'd recommend that you get a wheel alignment. So I did, and that really helped with the wear and tear of my tires, and this is a similar type of concept. Now, what does a chiropractic visit look like? If you've never been to a chiropractor, what do we do? Number one, we're going to do an intake and get your history. We want to know what your major complaints are, what health conditions you're currently facing, if anything runs in the family. And then we're going to do postural photos next. So with postural photos, we have special technology that'll measure how much you're out of alignment just by taking the photo. And we also use technology like gait scan to see how you're standing, what your gait pattern's like, all of that, which is really important to assess how your body's moving. I also do range of motion tests. So we go through the flexion, extension, lateral bending, rotation of the upper spine and lower spine. We also test the joints. Each joint's a little different, so we have to do different types of range of motion tests on those joints. But once we do that and we do some orthopedic and neurological tests, then we have a diagnosis. We'll share that with you. We'll also share any differential diagnosis, which is what else could it be? And then we'll start a gentle hands-on approach or instrument-assisted adjustments to help relieve the pain and discomfort. And sometimes people say to me, do instruments work just as well as the hands-on? And I use an instrument like this one. I don't know if you can see that, called an activator. And this instrument will do adjustments just as well as the hands-on technique. Now, for some people, the instrument works better than the hands-on. For others, it's the hands-on that works better than the instrument. So it all depends, of course. And it depends on what part of the body's getting adjusted. For example, for the ribs, I like to use the instrument on the ribs. It's very specific and calibrated force. I find that works great. For the hips, though, I tend to like to use the drop table. So popping the table up and down, a larger part of the body. I find that a type of adjustment can work better there. All right, so from being in pain and to improving your performance, what do we need to do? And I use an example of Jane, who's an avid runner who struggled with chronic knee pain, and chronic being over 3 months of knee pain. After a tailored chiropractic plan, she experienced reduced pain, improved posture, and increased range of motion. So she was feeling a lot better. She got out of that pattern with the help of the adjustments. And now she can run marathons without discomfort. She can do what she loves to do. And I can relate because I run marathons too. And I'm training right now for Valencia in December, the Valencia Marathon. So I'm pretty excited about getting in shape for that. And I have a ways to go. But so far, training's been good. And I'm only halfway through the year. So I've got lots of time. But I do have some goals that I'd like to accomplish. And I'll be sharing that with you via my social media channels and some of the webinars that we have coming up in the next few months. Now, how can you pair something like chiropractic with your workouts? Well, you can schedule your visits around your training. So if you're doing strength training on certain days, you might want to come in for adjustments before or after, depending on how the adjustments help your body. Regular care supports recovery, performance, and injury prevention. So I tell people, get checked more often than waiting for a problem to develop or reoccur. So coming, twice a week or once a week could be a really good thing to do, even every 2 weeks, to assist with the proper alignment, range of motion, and your flexibility. I go to the chiropractor weekly, and I don't have any health issues right now. I just want my workouts to be optimal. I want to feel good. I think it's just part of a normal routine to go to the chiropractor and get adjustments. If anything's out of place, he adjusts that for me. It's like that fine-tuning the maintenance of the car. So do-it-yourself tools to feel better between visits. You could do something like a 30-second thoracic stretch. And those of you who have come to my clinic, you know that I like to give the cat and the cow yoga stretches to start. So those are very good stretches to help with flexibility. Foam rolling is great, especially on large muscle groups like the glutes. Foam rolling can really work on the lats, on the back, on the hamstrings. And then desk posture resets. So wall angels, or making sure that your desk is set up correctly, like ergonomically. One thing I've been doing more of is some health coaching online. So I've been meeting with patients using Google Meet and just going over things like their desktop setup. They can hold their phone, show me their setup at work or at home, and I can go over, some modifications they need to make to improve their desktop setup. So these tips are great for daily use to reinforce the work we're doing in the clinic. So you can do some things to help support the changes that we're making in the clinic. Now, I wanted to address some myths about chiropractic. And one of the myths is that once you start, you can't stop. So the way that sounds is it's like addictive. And that's not true. Chiropractic care is tailored to your needs. You control the frequency ultimately. And I shared with you a couple slides ago, I like to go for maintenance and for optimal performance. And I encourage others to do that. But some people just like to come in when they're in a lot of pain. And so we do some treatment to get them out of pain. They wait for the pain to come back. It's not something I would recommend, but that's what they do. And we do a number of sessions, stop, care for a while, and then start again. So it's not something where you get addicted to it or you need it all the time, there are things you can do at home to maintain the changes we're making in the clinic. And that way, your frequency doesn't have to be so often. There's another myth. Cracking is dangerous. So the sound you hear is a dangerous sound. And that's not true. Adjustments are safe and often don't involve cracking sounds. Like I shared with you, the instrument adjustments, there's no cracking sound with that. Or the drop table adjustment for the hips, to balance the hips, no cracking with that either. In fact, I just wrote a book. It's a booklet, I would call it, because it's about 40 or 50 pages on Amazon. And it's Don't Crack Your Neck, it's called. And it's about why you shouldn't crack your own neck, but you should leave it to a professional to do it, like a chiropractor, because if you do it improperly, that can be bad. But if it's done properly, it can be good. It can be progressive. It can help you to accomplish the goals you want to achieve with your health. So I differentiate in the book why adjustments are safe, but if they're not done properly by someone who's not knowledgeable or to yourself, then it can lead to some problems. And then there's another myth that chiropractic is just for back pain. And that's not true, because we help with various issues, including neck pain, joint pain, and mobility, even foot posture, the rounding of the back, scoliosis, twists of the spine. So there's multiple different conditions that we see that we can help people with. So what should you expect after care? Well, I like to break up my care into segments. And usually when someone first comes in, I give them a 4 or 5 week plan because I want to see them get better. I want their pain to be reduced, their mobility to be increased, their flexibility. So number 1, pain reduction. That's what we want to go after in the first week. And I usually follow up with people daily in the first week so that by the end of the first week, they're feeling a lot better. Number 2, range of motion and strength gains. So in weeks 2 and 3, we want to see their flexibility increase for them to gain strength and power because their body's functioning better. And week 4, performance boost and less fatigue. We want their energy to increase, their ability to do the things they love to do, work, go for walks or exercise, travel, garden, golf, all those things. So we want to see by week 4 that quality of life improve. So the next steps for you are to live more freely and live more fully are you want to have a clear roadmap to reduce pain and reclaim your movement. So what are you going to do to improve your quality of life? And one thing would be go get a chiropractor to check you. Now, if you're in Kelowna, we're offering you some personalized guidance. So you can book a complimentary 15-minute mobility screening, and we'll drop a link in the chat that you can use for limited time. And then you can book a 15-minute session. We'll check you. We'll let you know what we're seeing. That'll include a postural review, movement analysis, and the Active Life Kickstart Plan. So we'll offer you a roadmap that you can follow like this one to improve your health. Also, if you follow up with care beyond the 15-minute mobility screening, we're going to offer you a free PDF report on what we found out during the initial session and 10% off your first visit, which would be the one that comes after the screening. So your initial examination and treatment. So that's a great offer for you. The first step would be to book the 15-minute mobility screening, and then from there, we can go to the next step. I want to thank you for joining me today. It was a pleasure talking to you. Please follow us on Eventbrite because you're going to see the upcoming events. We do events like this on a monthly basis. You can also go to our website, TutStreetFamilyChiropractic.com, and you can see what we're up to on our website. We'll update the events there. We're going to update. We are constantly doing blogs. You know, I like to write, so I write about different topics. And we're always updating our information, including our products in the clinic. So you're going to see what we're up to here in the clinic as well. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll talk to you guys soon.